Good evening and welcome to Gator's Garage, the home of all things historical and science fiction gaming in and around the great city of Savannah, Georgia. This is the weekly Mike and Randy show. Well, I think we missed July 4th week because, well, it was July 4th. But we're back in the saddle and good to see you folks. I hope you think it's good to see us as well. Randy and I have been, like everybody else, chewing on this whole new British Army book that's coming out. What's getting added, what's not being added, how British players are going to adjust to it. Um, if you're playing a friendly local game, you can use either the rule book or the Army book. If you're playing in an official Warlord tournament, they're gonna have you use the British Army book. Every other tournament organizer, it's really going to be up to them. I know for our tournaments, we're pretty much going to continue to allow both the book and the Army book. We always have, because the book is such a value for players and not everybody wants to run out and buy the extra Army book. Although Gator Games and Books is taking pre-orders on that. And while we're talking about that, before we get much deeper, push that like button. Use your little, let's show them, Randy. Use your mouse, this thing. Yes. There you go. Click the like button and share and leave happy comments. Randy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic. Well, so what were you thinking before we pull this up? What's kind of your? I'll go ahead and add it to stage here. There we go. British Airborne. Yes, absolutely
Yeah.
borrowed that image from Warlord Games. Why? Because it's just so damn sexy. So,
Yeah.
so paratroopers and flamethrowers. What brought you to this?
Well, so like you were saying, you're going to allow the both books and Patrick from Moxie Games, their next tournament, he told me he would allow the Gurkhas, and
Woohoo!
but basically it was like you said, if you're going to use, units from the core book, you only use the core book. You don't
Right,
cross over. Um,
right.
but most of the other tournaments, like Hurricon and Warzone, they're not going to allow it. So I'm just going to move on for now,
Do you,
rather than
hey,
try to.
do you know that Hurricon's not going to allow the Gurkhas and the
Yeah,
British Army?
already talked to Patrick Bollinger.
So he's requiring the U.S. the players pull from the British Army book
Yep,
then. Okay.
yep.
And
If the book's
Warzone the
out,
same.
yeah. Well, I don't know about John, but um,
Yeah.
John tends to be a little more less restrictive, so maybe. But
Right.
it's like this: if it's really not, I mean, if I won because I used a unit that Warlord says you're not supposed to be using, it'd be kind of a hollow victory. So
Okay.
um, I'm just going to move on. Like, this is why this list is being built here.
Roger
Um,
that. Okay.
I'm trying to find a reason to play British because I've seen a lot of the rules and they're not really favorable like they are to the Germans.
Right.
So I've got to really dig deep here and find something good. So I've got a couple
Unless
things here.
unless our viewers think that we have a inside track with Warlord Games, we don't. I continually remind my rep that I really would like to get a copy of the rule book for review early. I think they did it for. I got one for Armies of Germany. I did not for the United States. And
Mhm.
about the time I was going to ask for Armies of Great Britain, several of the big YouTubers got a copy of the book. Tabletop Tommies, I guess, Randy, is who you were looking at, and they literally went through the book page by page on their review,
They
which
did.
is
They showed every
amazing.
unit.
Right,
Some of them they kind of glossed over, but
right.
if you pause it, why is the screen jumping around? Is your screen jumping?
No, that's all you, brother.
Dadgummit, what is causing that?
I saw the light flicker.
Huh. Okay, that's annoying. So when I go to full screen, it does it. So I'm going to stay in the small screen.
Roger that.
It's
Okay.
literally jumping side to side. I don't know,
Hey,
but
you got something with your monitor.
yeah. So I was able to pause the video and look at different unit costs and what they
Okay.
can do and what they can't do. And so I built me a list here that I think will be fun to play. And it's picking out a couple special units that if they do what expected, then I think I'll have a lot of fun playing them.
Cool beans. Okay, so here we go. This is Mike and Randy's preview. So, of course, at the core of your units, go ahead. British
Yeah.
Airborne. What's not
So
to
yeah,
love, right?
right. I'm going to have a basic infantry rifle platoon with a couple of 5-man paratroopers with a light machine gun. 5 seems kind of low, but they are veteran and they are stubborn. And with the light machine gun, they're not going to be pushing up, so they'll only be taking long range fire. So if you stick them in cover, they'll basically be throwing out pins and on the opponent.
Roger that.
Yeah, and then I've
Nice.
got a 6-man rifle section, and they're probably going to be riding in the LVT. I'll push them up with that, and then jump them out and let them, get in range with their rifles.
And just to recap, in the new Army book, the British don't get the extra die for every 3 riflemen,
Sure
do
don't.
they? Wow.
No, their new rule. The only thing they really have is fixed bayonets. So for every 3 men fighting in close combat, you get 1 extra swing. It's kind of like tough as boots,
Right.
which really grates against me because if I had Gurkhas, that would be so amazing. Yeah. Wow. Right.
Gurkhas on meth.
10 Gurkhas swinging 13 strikes, and they're all tough fighters, so you reroll. They're not losing any combats, period.
No, you're just carving everybody up. So, wow. And to be honest, just thinking about what I know about the British Army and a lot of how it was fought in World War II, the British Army has never been known as like this great close combat army. It's always been an army of shooters.
Yeah.
And other than the Gurkhas.
Yeah. It's like so the British had bolt action rifles, right? But in version 2 they had rapid fire, which allowed them, an extra shot for every 3 men, representing the fact that they were so good at using the bolt action rifle, and the Lee Enfield was such a good rifle that they get that extra shot.
Dad's got one. It's heavy, but it's a beautiful weapon. But yeah, so you got this FAO Commando.
All right.
Talk to me about this guy. So we're down to line 4, the FAO.
Yeah, so this is one of the new things. So you can make any unit. Was it for King and Country?
Right.
If it has it in the listing that you can upgrade them to like Commandos, and so once you do that, you can add another 5 men in addition to what's allowed in the normal selector. So you normally take 3. You can add 5 more. Okay. They have to be veteran, and then for 3 points a man, you upgrade them to Commandos.
Does that mean they're going Commando?
Yeah. So what this is going to do, and I gave them all SMGs.
Okay.
So they're infiltrators now. So that means I can deploy them anywhere on the board. So
they also get an extra cover save, don't they, as infiltrators?
Yeah. So they get a +1 to their cover saves. So it makes them really strong in deploying them in the enemy's back line.
Right.
And now with the forward artillery observer, you get 2 rolls to see if it comes in, which I've done some roll testing, and it's pretty much it's coming in. You're going to get a 4 out of 2 dice. It's just, and there's going to be no miscalculations, although once I did roll snake eyes, but that was like out of 30 rolls. But so what this allows, there's no longer 2 strikes, just 1. So basically, right away they're going to call in their strike, and then from then on they're free to go and do other stuff. Whereas if you had two strikes, you got to pretty much sit around and try to call in the second one. So
so this thing should really, instead of being called the FAFO, it should be called instead of being called the FAO, it should be called the FAFO.
Yeah, we could add some letters to that, but we don't. This is a family channel, so
I love it. And then, of course, like the old cell phone commercial used to say, "You're now free to roam about the country."
yeah, yeah.
Man,
So, in
you know,
addition to that, another one of the commando rules is if they lose their NCO on a 3+, they get to upgrade another man to NCO. So, what that
excellent.
does in an FAO is it means you can't snipe the forward artillery observer because he is the NCO of the unit.
You could snipe him. So that is an interesting question. If I pick your FAO off with a sniper, yeah, you've replaced the NCO, but now your FAO is gone. I think you'd still lose the skill.
I don't think so. I think he would because he's taken that guy's place. They're saying that he's able to do the same job as the one that was killed.
See, I would argue no. We'll have to throw that out to the. What do you think, folks? There we go.
Yeah.
Question for the viewers of the channel.
And I've always argued that every man in a forward artillery unit is capable of using the radio to call in a strike.
On a 2-man team, or a 3-man team, I would absolutely agree with you. On an 8-man commando team, maybe not. So, folks, tell us what you think. So this is it's a new area. It's kind of a new thing. So,
yeah.
And it's okay. We can be wrong. Randy and I have been wrong on this channel before. We don't mind. But at this point, kind of give us your thoughts. And Randy, maybe we can tap Warlord and say, hey, what happens here? So that's a good call. I'm sure that will come up in at least one of our tournaments. So be good to know.
Yeah. So the other thing that they're going to be doing, and you'll see later in the list, I have a land mattress that I brought regular. For the rest of the game, they're going to be zeroing in for the land mattress.
Okay. And why is that?
Because they're allowed to call in a strike from any indirect fire unit that's regular or veteran, and it's not part of their activation. It's a passive ability is what they call it.
So what does that mean? So they can actually move up and then call artillery?
No. So basically what will happen is I'll deploy them somewhere in the enemy's back line. They're going to call in the strike. And then every turn after that, they're going to use their ability to allow the land mattress, which is safely tucked away behind something, to target units in the line.
And just as we'll get there, but just as a refresher, what's the min range on the land mattress? 36?
36. So it's going to be a corner pocket unit.
Okay. Screwball in the corner pocket.
Yeah.
Now, folks, don't let this next entry, the innocence looking of it, fool you. It's the LVT, which is in the upper right-hand corner. By the way, a little bit of a commercial. I think I've got the LVT in stock. If not, I can get it. I certainly have the British paratroopers in stock and the Commandos. So there you go.
Yeah.
Tell us about your LVT, Randy. Is this your normal terrorizing LVT that you scare everybody with?
This is my unit. I love it. I'd say it's going to carry my paratroopers up into the danger zone.
Right.
And if you're in an envelopment scenario, well, you can just load up a whole bunch of guys and just rush across the board with them.
I'm seeing that. So you've got exactly 24 guys here.
Yeah.
5, 5, 6, and 8. That's 24. You can load them all up into that thing. Pray it doesn't catch a round.
Yeah.
But you can run it up and then unload it.
Yeah. I even thought about bringing a recce platoon and making it recce. Recce LVT. How about that?
Oh my God, that sounds like a little bit too much sliced cheese there.
That's cheese there.
And then your PIAT. Go ahead.
That's what you call extra sharp cheddar.
Oh, I was thinking it was more like that stinky Parmesan.
Oh no, what is that? Munster cheese that stinks so bad?
No, Limburger.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Bring on the cheese. So there we go. Got you a little bit of projected anti-tank here with this PIAT.
Yeah, PIAT as they call it, I think.
They call it PIAT, okay.
I think that's what the British call it, but we know the right way to say it, don't we?
That's right. Never mind that it's a British weapon, right? Okay. And so you spent the points on the PIAT as opposed to, well, I guess that's the only infantry anti-tank weapon you can take.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your cheapest anti-tank gun that the British could take?
That's
2-pounder?
the 2-pounder's 55 points because
Got
they
it.
bake
Okay.
in the gun shield now.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so as we go through this list, you'll notice there's not an armored platoon in this. This is really a kind of a themed paratrooper list.
Like that. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, a Jeep to carry the PIAT. So basically, what you have here is a force that's pretty heavily mechanized.
Yeah.
And on the moves. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
Man
the
after
Jeep's
my own
there
heart.
for the
I love
PIAT.
that memory. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so basically, so my argument is that the PIAT is better than the bazooka or the Panzerschreck.
Why so?
So in order for these weapons to work, you have to get them in point blank, right? Because if you're hitting on fives, you're pretty much not hitting.
Okay.
And you're exposed. If you're out at 24 inches, you're exposed, period. So the Jeep will allow me to rush up, jump out, get into point blank range, and it's +5, same as the bazooka, but it's 20 points cheaper than the bazooka. So the bazooka's only advantage is its range, but range outside of point blank is not useful.
You think so?
Well, I mean, if you're sitting still, if you're lucky enough to be sitting still long enough to shoot, you're hitting on a 4, which is still a coin flip. But if you can get to 3 pretty much guarantees you're going to hit, unless you're just Baker dice.
Hey.
I had to throw that in there.
I had that happen to me today. Okay, you're hitting on a 3+ out of 12 dice. I rolled 6 dice that were 1s and 2s.
Oh my God.
Brent just howled. I'm like, oh my gosh. But
wow.
Well, you're still going to get that +1 with the PIAT if you're moving up. Now, I guess you can take that away if you get point blank, but you're kind of gambling that you're going to be able to move the Jeep and the PIAT in one move after another.
The key to that is you throw an officer in it. The officer snaps the Jeep and the PIAT.
Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
You got enough room. You got enough room for 3 guys, so you got a 2-man PIAT and an officer. So, yeah, you can do it all in one move.
Okay, good deal.
You just hide them behind some woods and wait for the tank
LVT.
to come up. Yeah, hard cover or line of sight blocking for a Jeep, really.
Right. You tuck that Jeep behind that LVT, ain't nothing going to touch it till you're ready to, part of the pun, ready to roll with it. So there you go. Okay. So this is the airborne part of the airborne barbecue.
Yep.
Now it's barbecue time.
Yeah.
Those colors, that didn't come out quite as bright as it looked on the slide. But yeah, it's barbecue time.
Yeah. So I had so much fun running the German barbecue list at Moxie a while back.
Yes.
But, I thought I'd try to run something with the British here. So I've got 2 veteran engineer squads. They each have a submachine gun and a flamethrower.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I've got 2 flamethrower teams.
Oh my gosh. We told y'all it was a barbecue list.
And then I got 2 scout cars to move them. So what I'll do is I'll put an officer, a 5-man engineer squad, and a flamethrower team in. That'll be 8 guys. And that's what the scout carries is 8, transports 8. It's wheeled so they can move up quite a bit. So he'll be able, I won't be, because he's not German, I can't snap everybody out of the truck, but I can move the scout up, shoot him with the heavy machine gun, and then order the engineer squad or the flamethrower team out at the same time. And hopefully, light somebody up with that.
Oh, definitely the engineer squad out first because
Yeah,
Man, that's
they're more
5 guys and
survivable.
a subby and rifles and and then
Yeah,
that 50 cal. I mean, that is 50 cal on there because it's a Lend Lease.
yeah.
So rate of fire 3 plus 110. Yeah, and you
And
can
these
even
guys
use
can
it,
go in outflank because the scout cars are regular. So
right?
you got an officer inside with a +3 morale bonus. So he's coming in on anything but a foo bar.
Yeah,
So I don't do outflank really. I think reserve now, the way you can come in 12 inches on the sides. If you put them in reserve, you can come in turn 2, and it allows you to come in pretty much anywhere. And so if the enemy's on the right or if they're on the left, um, you can go right to them. Whereas if you go into outflank, you're committed to one side or the other.
that's a fair point. I like that. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit more flexibility, and you can still push up. You come in 12 inches in, you push up 6. If your range is 24, you've just gone 18, so 38, 42. Yeah, you're still reaching most of the way across the board
yeah,
with most of your weapons.
yeah,
So, and definitely if you're rolling a scout car or a tank, it's going to reach all the way across the board with its MGs.
yeah,
So, good call, Randy. Okay.
yeah. Now, so the Ford Artillery Observer and the
Yep.
land mattress, which you're going to see, is key to the barbecue because both of those, the land mattress and the artillery observer, are going to force my opponent to funnel because they're going to want to stay away from the bombardment and they're going to want to try to get inside the 36-inch range of the land mattress. So
Get in
that's going
close.
to push them right into my barbecue.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So, do you know
Yeah.
what time it is?
It's
It's
land
land
mattress
mattress
time.
time.
I've been waiting for this thing for the British for a long time. I'm telling you, I've had one painted, and the only time I ever got to play it was when they allowed campaign theater selectors. There was one
Right.
tournament that allowed that. Normally, you can't bring them.
Yeah. Yeah. You can now. Hey, so hey,
Yeah,
there's a lot of grousing about the British book. This is a significant upgrade and gives the British access to a rocket launcher every bit as good as the German Nebelwerfer. So yeah, that's
yeah,
that's really hopeful. Um, but we're going to start off with that 25 pounder.
yeah. So this is my other. I have very little. There's no armor, so I have
Right.
to have something that's anti-tank. So I've got the PIAT and I've got the 25 pounder, and then combined with the flamethrowers, they can take out tanks as well.
Right.
So that's and basically what I'll do is the 25 pounder is going to probably go in ambush and just try to pick off targets of opportunity. If I'm running up against like a 9 armor tank that's tough, that's when I'll send the Piat after. I'll make him, go after the big tank. I
Time
won't.
to
I
go
won't
past
try to
that.
waste the Piat on like an armored transport or something like that.
Roger. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. And again, people will notice immediately neither of these have a toe. So once you deploy them, they're fixed.
Well, they can be moved, but this can't be moved very fast.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go 6 inches with them.
Are they medium weight?
I think they're both. So the land mattress, I want to say they say treat it as a light mortar or a medium mortar, maybe. The movement, there's a
Probably a medium.
there's a line in there that says movement
Yeah.
is considered as a mortar. So, and then of course the 25
Okay.
pounder is a light gun. So
Right.
yeah,
But it's not 360 despite the mounting.
the no,
Yeah,
you have to
because
rotate.
you see it's got that wheel on the bottom, and that was that one. And that's that one. And I want to say the 2 pounder both have those, and that's what makes the 2 pounder 360 is it can pivot
Yeah,
pretty quickly.
the 2 pounder literally has a pin in the middle where it actually rotates on the pin.
Right.
So it's a carriage mount. Whereas the 25 pounders, you still have to turn the gun. They had that little wheel plate underneath it. So in rough ground, it was easier to rotate the gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. Very good. So
Now
go ahead.
the land mattress you notice is regular.
Yes.
So it's a few more points. But the reason I did that was because the forward artillery observer, once he calls in his strike, he'll be able to call in shots from this land mattress.
Right. Right. Hey, what's the minimum indirect for the 25 pounder? 12 inches?
No, so the indirect is one of the bad things about the howitzers. I want to say it's 30 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, which is quite a bit. So you're probably not going to be doing much indirect fire with it, but you can,
Right.
because I think the top range goes out to 60 when you indirect, so it's like 30 to 60.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, depending on how you read the table and your opponent, you could set this thing up as an indirect monster, or set it up with fairly good terrain to cover it. And can it set up in? I'm just trying to remember, and I'm not remembering, because it has the gun shield. Is it going to be allowed to set up in things like woods or buildings?
So only if you deploy, you could deploy it in a building.
Right.
It doesn't allow you to put it in woods. And I didn't have the points. I wanted to make this thing a Chindit, because the new Chindit rules allow it to have fieldcraft, which means you could move through rough ground with it.
Even with the gun.
Yeah, even with the gun.
Okay.
And the White House is the only one that does that. The medium guns and up, they won't let you do it. So
Now, in the old V2 rules, to get the ability to move through rough terrain, you had to take the gun shield off. But I'm
could
assuming
be.
that's not
That would
the
make
case.
sense.
Yeah. That was the advantage of some of the, like the mountain howitzers and things. They didn't have a gun shield, but you could move them through rough ground. Like I say, all this is coming from Randy and I watching the Tabletop Tommies book. I watched some of it. Good stuff. I think they gave it a very fair look. If you guys have not seen it, we'll throw a link to them in our write up here. And good work on their part. I mean, that was a lot of homework to break that out for folks. But this is the British book. It's on its way. It's going to be official, canon for tournaments on a go forward. And you can get it. You can pre-order it from Gator Games and Books. We're more than happy to fix you up with that. We are 15% off MSRP, and the first round orders get the special figure as well. So there you go. I think I've had 2 or 3 people order already. Randy, I think you're in line to get one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So I get it. What's the special figure?
Oh, some Victoria Cross winning dude. I should know off the top of my head, but I don't.
Some dude.
Some dude.
Bloke. He's a bloke.
He's a bloke. Yeah, some bad bloke. But and I hope I don't offend my English players, but just escapes me at the moment. But yeah, so new times for the British, new changes. Next book to come out, I think, is going to be the Soviets.
Yeah.
And they will be, I want to say, in November. Maybe I'll have to look. But the Soviets are coming next. Randy, I know you've kind of bubbled over maybe doing a Soviet army. And Soviets, I'd like to see more Soviet players. I know in our local meta, we rarely will see people running Soviets. Randy says, "No, we don't."
See no dog mines.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started on the dog turds. I mean, jeez. If there's a broken rule in that game, it's the dog mines, because there's a reason the Russians didn't use them much.
Yeah, definitely not same as reality.
No, that is definitely a gamey part, So, yeah. But hey, it's the game, and it's one of those things you just deal with it. Like I say a lot, what I'm really learning about, especially miniature tabletop gaming, is you can pick anything you want off the shelf, and you can put it in your army if you will, and that's kind of cool. I like my hex and counter games, but oftentimes, you're handcuffed by what the scenario tells you can do, and even in a design your own, many of the design your own games, they're going to build in what's called a rarity factor, and so something that might be, say, 100 points across the board in a warlord setting might be effectively 150 in a setting. Again, going back to in a setting where the rarity factor is baked in, and again going back to the Puma. You know, it's rare, but every German player I think has got one. It's our
Yeah.
favorite light tank, except it's wheeled, and you got to make sure you know where it's going, and it's wrecky, so if it breaks, it'll back off the board on you, and you'll be left spitting nails. But yeah, it's a fun game. Um, y'all be watching. We've got a couple of things coming in the next couple of shows. We take a little bit of break from Bolt Action next week and review our Gettysburg game that we had this past weekend. We'll get the pictures on slides and we'll talk about the what's, whys, and wherefores of Gettysburg. So be sure to tune in for that. And then the week after, we're going to look at one of the campaign books and how it applies to version 3 and why you should have these in your library is just a different way to enjoy, what is one of our favorite tactical games. Randy, what else you got for the folks before we sign off?
Yeah, I was going to say, let everybody know that me and Mike are planning to do a live podcast at some point in the future.
That's right.
So, anybody's thoughts on that? Anything they want us to try to cover? And just be looking out for the announcement when it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll go live on YouTube, probably on the Gator Games and Books Facebook page. There's one other place. No, it's going to be these two. That's where I have my StreamYard links to. So it'll be either on this channel or on our Facebook, on my Gator Games Facebook page. So yeah, that's going to be fun. We haven't done that yet, and we've been thinking, hey, might be kind of nice to talk to the folks live and get questions on the fly and get stumped and then get told how wrong we are.
Yeah,
Page
we can
25.
really look dumb, can't we?
I don't know if it's possible for me to look any dumber sometimes. It's like, oh, yeah, that's an old rule from version 2 that they didn't even change, and you still got it wrong. Thanks, Randy. Love it. So, all right. Well, anything else for the folks, Randy?
No. We need to do a battle, record a game between me and you in the future and put it on there. I think everybody's wanting to see another one of those.
Yeah, I think we did British and Germans last time, right?
Yep.
Okay, I think
maybe we'll do some Americans.
Americans and Germans, I think. That's what we have in our collection right now, and that would be fun. Okay, so be looking for that. We'll try and get that announced early. Of course, that'll be nice and long and fun. But Randy and I will abscond to my local clubhouse, and yeah, we'll run a couple 3-hour game with a battle report. And people
could be better because I've got some new equipment. I got a hub that'll allow me to do some multiple cameras. I just got to play around with it and get comfortable with using it. So,
okay, sounds good. All right. Well, folks, kind of a short show tonight, but we're kind of getting this thing down to an even keel. Not a lot of great new news. Randy did mention a couple things that are coming up. Historicon's coming up. Fall Offensive's coming up. I want to say Historicon is then not Historicon. I'm sorry, Hurricon.
Hurricon's in September.
Yep. Yeah. And Fall Offensive is in October. I will be GMing the tournament for Fall Offensive. So, any thoughts and input on that, I'd be happy to get. And, come out. There's good opportunities to come out and meet me and Randy and see how much worse we look in a real person. So there you go. All right. Well, folks, have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.